So guys, right now, the time of this recording, you can download Heavy Rain. As long as you have an active PlayStation Plus account, you can download it right on your PS4 system. And I gotta say, I highly recommend it. Stop what you're doing, download it right now. If you're into the story mode games, you're gonna love this game right here, trust me. Now, this game came out in 2010 on the PS3. I played it. I'm not sure. I didn't play it on release, but I played it somewhere like around the summertime. This one, Blockbuster was going out of business, so this was the only game in the game section of Blockbuster. So I just picked it up on some why not. You know, it's the only game. It was dirt cheap at the time because, you know, Blockbuster was going out of business. You know, I was like, why not? And at the time, the only game I was playing was Call of Duty. So this was like a different shift. This was like a different vibe, I would say. So I popped this on, and it started off really super duper slow. And I'm not going to spoil it, by the way. It started off slow, but the more and more you play and the more and more you pay attention, the more you get connected with the characters, the story mode. And this game, man, this was definitely ahead of its time.
Jason! 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 Jason!
Quantic Dream Games and David Cage definitely did knock this one out the park. And keep in mind, this game came out 2010, February. But away from the hand models and certain objects in the games, it might look a little bit from the PS2 era. Definitely, the graphics was definitely ahead of its time, I must say. And even just talking about the story mode, especially if you're first time playing it, it's a mystery. So you try to figure out who's the origami killer. You try to see who's the person who's kidnapping these kids and throwing them in the wastelands and stuff like that. So it's like a mystery, and I like those kind of mystery games. If you're not spoiling it, it's just like a shocker. And I know you could play these games, you know what I mean, on YouTube. Like, watch other people play it on YouTube.
What do you want, asshole?
You want to be able to play the game because you want to be able to make the choices on your own. You want to be able to actually do those quick time events. And I know it's not that much gameplay going on, but it's just a different vibe when you're playing the game by yourself. Not by yourself, but just have the controller in hand, actually making all the choices instead of watching someone else make those choices for you, in a sense. Now, before I even move on to Detroit, it's just so crazy how Sony made this game free. And then just last month, not even last month, May, they were selling Detroit Digital Deluxe Edition with Heavy Rain for an extra $10, so $80 for the game. And man, I'm happy I didn't spend the $80 because now this is free in Detroit. I already have. I brought the standard edition, so yeah, you know, I don't know why they did that. But moving on to Detroit, Heavy Rain is a great game. If I have to put down on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm easily going to give Heavy Rain a 9 out of 10. Ahead of its time. Definitely a unique game. Great graphics, great sound. Occasional glitches here and there.
Jason!
And it can get a little boring. Now, when I mean boring, I mean like maybe you're just not in the mood for it. The game is not for everybody. Now, moving on to Detroit Become Human, I gotta say right off the bat, this might be one of the best looking console video game of all time yet. Right there, right next to God of War, literally neck and neck right there. Just seeing the beautiful city of Detroit in the year 2035, I believe. If I'm wrong, I throw it on screen. It's beautiful, man. Wow, jaw-dropping graphics. But as for the story, definitely no slouch. David Cage and Quantic Dreams, they're known for great story mode games, and this one is no slouch whatsoever. Androids are segregated, the civil rights movement, so androids gotta sit in the back of the bus while humans sit in the front of the bus. And as I'm thinking about it, this was before making this video. I already had in my mind that Heavy Rain would have the slight edge in terms of better story, but this one here is really no slouch. And really, as I'm thinking about it, Kara and Alice, that's probably my best part, because just seeing them together and becoming them like a family and all of that, it warms your heart every time seeing them together and they hug and love each other. Then you have Marcus just trying to, you know, get freedom for the androids, and then Connor trying to take down the android deviants. This one had a really good story mode, and as I'm thinking about it, Heavy Rain had a good story mode, but all the characters had basically the same goal. You're trying to find an origami killer, and that's basically it. But with Detroit, you have little personality with each character too. So I gotta give the slight edge to Detroit Become Human, but I gotta say both these story mode games, I say story mode games, but both these games had an excellent story mode, and definitely it's worth going back to Detroit and Heavy Rain. And yes, I played Heavy Rain a couple of times too. I saw all the endings, and yeah, I loved them. I only played Detroit once though. I only played Detroit once. I know I gotta play it more than once to really appreciate the game and see all the endings and see all the sides. In terms of music, this is way better than Heavy Rain. I feel like the music here is a little bit more dramatic. And then sometimes you have that really slow vibe. The music selection in Detroit is definitely great, but Heavy Rain had good music too as well, but Detroit is just a little bit better to me. And in terms of the choices, oh my god, there's so many choices in Detroit Become Human. It's crazy. Like, it's a lot of outcomes. You have choices on top of choices, and some of these choices are game-changing decisions. Really, it could be either life or death. And Heavy Rain, you have a lot of decisions, but not as dramatic or not as crazy as Detroit. But damn, Detroit is really a great game. Both of these games are great. Highly recommend Heavy Rain. Highly recommend Detroit. For me personally, I think Detroit is worth the 60, but to some it's not going to be worth it because of, well, there's no multiplayer. It's not an actual game. It's really a movie, and I get that, but it's a really good movie that you're interacting with QuickTime events. So I can't really complain with that whatsoever. But if you can wait for a price drop, maybe $30 or maybe even $40, I think Detroit is definitely worth a pickup on every single PS4 system. It's definitely a must buy in my opinion. And Heavy Rain is no question. The game is free. Make some space. Easily one of my favorite PS Plus games. That, Outlast, Infamous, PT was a free game. You didn't need PS Plus. But yeah, it's so many games on the PS Plus that were good. So guys, just a quick little video comparing both these two games. Not the best comparison. I'm not comparing the graphics between these two because, well, Heavy Rain's 2010, Detroit's 2018.
Hi, it's good to see you again. Great to start the weekend with Detroit.
So you can't really compare the graphics there, but definitely Heavy Rain was ahead of its time. So guys, that pretty much concludes today's video. If you guys did enjoy it, I appreciate it with a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below, Heavy Rain or Detroit Become Human. Very, very curious to know. Alright guys, until next time, peace.
Good night, Sean.
My teddy! I haven't got my teddy, Dad.
You must have left it somewhere in the house. Do you have any idea where it could be?
No, Dad.